What's up guys, Meredith with AmericanTrucks.com, and today we are checking out this Mammoth 2.5-inch front spring spacer leveling kit fitting all 2014 and newer four-wheel drive Ram 2500. Now, spacer lift is a great way to add some height to the front of your Ram at a very affordable price point. So if you want to raise the nose of your truck but also want to keep it simple and inexpensive, this is going to be for you. Now, while it is affordable, it's not very involved for that 2.5 inches in the front, unlike other lifts. If you want to keep your current suspension components for the benefits or the ride quality that they bring, you just want that added height and a little bit more than some of the other smaller leveling kits, and you don't want to get super involved in your suspension just yet or even at all. It's also not going to affect your ride quality that much, while also giving you some big aesthetic benefits as well as some minor performance benefits, being great for the daily driver and light off-roader. This will raise the front for a leveled appearance, and like I said, it is going to be a little bit taller than some of the other smaller leveling kits. So if you are looking for a bit more in the front, but again want to keep it simple with a spacer lift, this height is going to do it for you. Now, this will add a lot of character to the Ram, all while using minimal components. It's going to make a huge difference aesthetically without changing the ride quality that much, considering that this is going to be added on top of the factory components, and it will also include shock extensions for proper shock travel, avoiding any limitations when adding that height and maintaining performance and comfort. Now, along with the look, the truck will also gain some ground clearance for the front, which will make for more confident driving to avoid any hazards that may have previously been an issue, and to allow for proper tire fitment to fill the wheel well, fitting up to a 35-inch tire comfortably. Everything here is made of a steel construction, which will be durable when it comes to the tough suspension pressure and whatever other abuse that this is going to see in the wheel well. Now, on top of that will be a fine texture black powder coat to avoid any rusting and help maintain the structural integrity of the kit and the steel over time. The spacer itself, unlike IFS or an independent front suspension kit, this will measure out 1:1, true to 2.5 inches, and will be completely bolt-on, so no modifications or other unwanted steps are required in the install. This will be about $150, and it's going to be super affordable for what it is, considering that it is minimal components compared to other lifts. Now, the category varies heavily with lift heights, components, and pricing, but this is going to keep it very simple for your truck while still offering a huge aesthetic change and maintaining proper and comfortable stock style performance. Now, again, if you don't need new shocks and springs to replace old components, or you don't want to change the ride quality or change them out for performance purposes, you just want to get some added height for the front and want a stout stance for your truck, then this is going to be right up your alley. Install will be a 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter. I do recommend some mechanical experience or suspension experience before you tackle this job. So if you do have that, I would say it's going to take you about 3 hours or so with the right tools and setup. Now, at this point, we can head over to our shop and check out a detailed step-by-step breakdown on how this kit is installed, whether you're doing this at home or in a shop, or you're just curious about the install. So that is going to wrap it up for my review. Let's go ahead and jump into it.
For this install, you need a 3/8 impact, a drill, a 13/32 drill bit, a 3/8 ratchet, a 21/16 swivel and 13mm socket, a 7/8, 21, 15, and 10mm wrench, and also not shown be a lift and floor jacks. Today we're going to be installing a leveling kit on our Ram 2500, so let's get started. All right, as you can see, we have our front end lifted up on our lift. We have 2 floor jacks under our front differential to support it. What we need to do is we need to disconnect our lower shock mount, our sway bar link, and then we have a 13mm bolt holding our brake line bracket on, just so we don't pull tension on that. So we're gonna start by taking off our 13mm bolt with our ratchet and socket. So we can take our 13mm bolt out here. And we have that loose. While we're here, we're gonna go to our bottom shock mount here. That's a 21mm bolt. So we're gonna grab our impact and 21mm socket and take that off. We're just gonna disconnect our lower sway bar link here. So we're gonna grab our 21mm ratcheting wrench. And if you need to hold the stud here, we're gonna grab a 10mm wrench to go over that. Take that off and take our sway bar link out of our axle. Just put our nut back on there. Now that you have that done, you can go repeat those same 3 steps on the other side. Now that we have everything disconnected on both sides and we'll be able to drop our front axle down, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to the front and lower both our jacks down at the same time, maybe even a little alternate just to keep it level, just to get our springs out and released so that we can get our spacers in. Okay, now that our springs are released, we're gonna pull our spring out of the way. Set that aside for now. Also pull out our isolator so we can get our spacer into place. To install the new spacer, you're gonna go through the bolt hole through where the insulator went through, just like so. You're gonna pull the insulator out and there's gonna be a bolt that goes through like so, here and here. Now you will see there is another spot on the back for another bolt. That's where some modification is required. What you're gonna do is you're gonna get this bolted up in place with the factory with the supplied hardware. And then we're gonna mark the location and then use a 13/32 drill and drill bit and drill that hole. Now for demonstration purposes, we're not gonna modify our vehicle, so we're just gonna use our 1 bolt there, but you definitely want to drill that hole and install the new hardware. One thing to mention, up here above this on the driver's side, there is a module right above where you're about to drill, so just be very careful and don't drill into that module. So we'll get our spacer installed now. We're gonna grab our bolt with our flat washer, put that through the top. Our spacer on, and then our washer on the bottom. So we're gonna grab our ratchet and 16mm swivel socket, put that up top, and then our 15mm wrench and tighten down our bolt and nut. Just so you guys can get an idea of where exactly you will be drilling, you will see a hole in the bottom of the spacer here. Drill bit fits perfectly up there, and then we'll go into the other slot that's on the other side there. So it'll be about in the front, a little bit in the back. Next, we're gonna reinstall our spring mount and spring. So the mount will go up through the hole that's in the bottom here. And just set our spring into place. You just wanna make sure that you line up the end and the end of the mount there. When you're raising it, you'll adjust it afterwards also because it is loose and just sitting there. But next, we're going to put our lower shock mount on, and then we can start raising everything up. For our new lower shock mount, it will go through with our factory hardware. So we're gonna put it through where the lower shock would go, put our bolt through, have our locking nut on the back, thread that down. We're gonna grab our impact and 21mm socket and tighten that down. Once you have that done, you just go repeat those same steps on the other side, then we can raise our axle back up. Now we can use both our floor jacks and jack our axle back up. One thing just to mention that the new shock mounts may interfere when jacking it up, so you may just need to pull the shocks out of the way just so it goes up properly. We're gonna get our supplied hardware for our new shock mount. So we have our bolt, get our flat washer, put that through our mount and the shock. On the back side, we're gonna do a flat washer and then our locking nut. So we'll grab our ratchet and 21mm socket and a 7/8 wrench to hold the nut and tighten it down. Once you have that tightened, we can reinstall our 13mm bolt for our brake line bracket. Grab our ratchet and 13mm socket, tighten it down. Now we can reinstall our sway bar link. We're just gonna put our sway bar back to our axle, thread on our 21mm nut, grab our 21mm ratcheting wrench and 10mm wrench and tighten it down. Once that's done, you can repeat all those same steps for the other side, and then we can release our jacks from the axle and put our wheels back on. And that wraps up our install of our Mammoth 2.5-inch front spring spacer leveling kit for a 2014 and newer 4-wheel drive Ram 2500. And remember, for everything Ram, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.